All right, so Admiral Kelly, I'm going to turn this over to you.
Okay, and I'm going to just spend a couple very brief minutes with you, and then I will turn it over to Christy. And I think Christy, Captain Ray is with you as well, or he will be.
Captain Ray's in his office.
Okay.
So he should be hopping on.
Okay. There he is. Hey, Art. And Mrs. Landry, it looks like you have the proper beverage for after 5 o'clock meeting like this. So good on you. After a little bit of trick or treating tonight, our women's soccer game against West Point, I think my wife and I might have a glass of that as well. So we'll join you in a little bit. But hey, to the class of 2021, parents of the class of 2021, congratulations on getting this far. 5 weeks from now, you will have your daughters and sons hopefully back home with you. You will have enjoyed Thanksgiving. You'll be in a post-turkey coma and hopefully relaxing and enjoying some time with them. You will have them for about a month, and that will probably be the longest time that you get with them for quite some time. Because soon after that, they will return to us, and we will drive forward to the 19th for graduation on Cadet Memorial Field with you in the stands. That's our goal. That's what we're driving towards, and we believe we can make that happen given everything we know about COVID as it currently sits today here in southeastern Connecticut and wherever you are across the country, and for some of our folks literally around the globe. Your class, your sons and daughters have done an amazing job. They have led through an incredibly challenging period of time. It's been so enjoyable to watch them come back in early June, really trying to get their legs as first class cadets and what it means to be leaders in the Corps. And they have stepped up. They are caring for each other. They are caring for their underclass. They're having some fun. Believe it or not, they totally bought into the intercompany sports, from their T-shirts to their visors to competing and want to take home the quarantine cup. They were phenomenal. They're doing everything they can to possibly be in the classroom. We're doing everything we can to have them in the classroom, and I just can't tell you how proud I am of them. We had a good conversation the other night during the happy hour with the class of 21 parents, if not everybody was with us. And there were some concerns or questions about, are they missing out on anything? Are they going to be ready to be ensigns in the United States Coast Guard? Folks, I can sit here again today and tell you with great confidence, they are going to be ready. Now, we still need them. We still need them till the 19th of May. We got some work to do. Captain Ray and his staff and others have some work to do. But they are going to be phenomenal leaders. The Coast Guard is going to be in great hands. Think about the challenges that they've worked through to get to this point. There's not going to be a lot that they're going to face as ensigns and JGs and lieutenants and captains that are going to be comparable to what they're working through right now. So I am confident they are going to be well prepared, and I know you're incredibly proud of them. And I just wanted to hop on here before Christy and Captain Ray get into the details of graduation to let you know that my staff and we are going to do everything we can to never do a virtual graduation ever again. I think we did a good one last year. I think the virtual grad last year was great, but this is what I'm shooting for. Let me see, make sure I get that, right? That's above my desk, right? I want to see the hats in the air. Maybe we only have 500 or 600 fans in the stands, but we want to make sure that you have an opportunity to be here with your daughters and sons. Obviously, there's going to be a lot more information coming on that. I know you want to have the information sooner rather than later, but please give us a little bit of maneuvering space to work through that so that we can appropriately plan for what graduation is going to look like. I would tell you, if you asked me right now, I would say plan on 2 parents, family members, guardians, loved ones being in the stands right now. I hope we can expand on that, but we're learning a lot. The Officer Candidate School program is getting ready to graduate in 3 weeks. They're going to do 2 grads each, and we're going to learn from them, two visitors each for each grad. We're going to learn from them so that we're prepared to welcome you on board. So I just wanted to give you my commitment from where I sit as a superintendent here, that the class of 21 has earned the right to graduate on that Cadet Memorial Field. You as parents have earned that right. I had the privilege of seeing my son graduate there in 2014, and we're going to do everything we can so that you have that that opportunity as well. And I know that if it, if things take a turn to, sideways here, that you'll support us as we go forward. And I ask for that support as we make our decisions to ensure, once again, the safety of our community and the well-being of our community is job one. That we graduate these ensigns on time and get them out to the fleet, because they will be standing duty within 30 days of their graduation. And then that we continue to lead in a transparent, inclusive manner. So that's my goal. I literally have to run home now. My wife Angie and I need to put on our Batman and Robin suits because we're having our base Halloween outfit here, our Halloween trunk or treat tonight. So we're gonna get dressed up. If you watch the soccer game, depending on how Robin feels, Batman and Robin may show up in our outfits for the soccer game this evening. So we're gonna try to have some fun with it. All right, folks, take care.
Admiral, they have 30 days after they graduate. Is that like a standard?
Kate, I will let Captain Ray answer all of those questions.
Okay.
But he's ready and prepared to take any and all. I heard you had him on the phone till like 2300 last night or something.
Yeah, well, it was necessary.
Hey, he's got to earn his keep, Kate. Don't worry about that.
He's putting in the hours, I'm telling you.
He certainly is. He certainly is. Folks, take care. Be well. Stay strong. And remember, we're stronger together.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So yes, Kate, to answer the Admiral's question, for a long time now, it's been standard. So once a graduate graduates from here at the Coast Guard Academy, you get 30 days leave, and it doesn't count against you. So when I graduated from here, it was in place, and it's still in place to this day. Just wanted to confirm that with Christy.
That's right, sir. That's exactly right. They get 30 days of leave.
All right, awesome. So
Yes, they don't the unit until June.
Okay, awesome. I was going to speak real briefly. Christy, this is Christy's show. She helps us out. She is definitely, we couldn't do our job without her. So I just want to give her a shout out. But again, I just want to say good evening here from the East Coast. I know everyone's coming from different places across the globe. So that being said, I just want to say good evening to the parents of the class of 2021. One thing that, not to go over everything that the Admiral had mentioned, but one thing I want to press upon you all is please be patient with us. We've done it this past spring, but we're still working the flexible solutions. We're gonna have a range of solutions for us. So us as a staff will be able to adjust to whatever COVID or any other pandemic brings upon us. So again, you heard what the Admiral had mentioned. That's what ultimately our goal is, to have a full graduation. But we'll be ready, just like our motto says, Semper Paratus, for either or. But again, that's our goal, and we'll strive for that. So that being said, I'm going to turn to Christy, and she'll be able to take it from here. And if you have any questions, please ask. Christy, floor is yours.
All right, sir. Hopefully my connection isn't bad. Hopefully it's nice and clear. I remember to turn off the mute, because I'm usually forgetting to turn off the mute. Those that don't know me, I'm Christy Rose. I work in the Commandant Cadet's office. Actually, I just did a little teaser a little bit ago for Facebook Live to entice everyone to come join. Because everyone's screen's frozen. Am I stuck?
You were, but now
Hold on. I'm going to do this a different. Okay, I think I'm stuck. Let me hop off this, and then I'm going to go a different way. So let me come back in. Okay, hold on.
Yep. Okay.
I'm going to leave it, and then I'm going to come back in.
Okay. Captain Ray, while Christy's working it out, does the 30 days apply to the flight school cadets as well?
All cadets it applies to. Usually flight school, like the flight school folks are here, they spent some time being summer ensigns here at the Coast Guard Academy. So we may come up with some creative things to keep them employed, but everybody gets the 30 days.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
No problem. I can stay online until Christy comes back online, see if I can ask her any other questions like that one. So I'll do my best.
Okay. We appreciate it. And thank you
All right.
for joining last night again. We had an executive council meeting. Some things came up.
Awesome.
I couldn't answer them. I texted Captain Wright. I said, could you dial back in? He did without knowing what he was running into. And so I had to apologize after that.
No
But
worries.
he answered our questions, he participated, and it was at the drop of a hat, after he had already been on the call for over an hour. And then they were released, and then I pulled them back. So I appreciate the working relationship. Thank you, Captain Wright.
No worries at all. Anytime.
Christy, are you back?
I'll text her and see if she can probably join me here.
Okay, yeah, because your connection's good.
Yeah, my connection's good. So I'll text her right now.
So even if it's 2 people, and I'm hopeful for more, I'm still keeping my house because they'll live stream. And then we can have a party with them right after and right before. So, I mean, so don't give up your houses.
She'll run in here. All right, she's about to walk in here right now. So again, if you have any questions, if I can't answer it, definitely Christy can. She's going to take the floor here soon. Thank you.
Holy cow. I'm sorry. This Wi-Fi is just giving me a hard time today. This is the way my day has been. It started off with me spilling coffee on myself, so I should have known better. So, sorry. So, graduation. I certainly, as the Admiral said, I don't want to do the virtual graduation again. That was absolutely heartbreaking. I cried. I cried when I was pretending to be the commandant during rehearsal, and I was sitting on the stage and watching how they were getting everything together. When they played the alma mater on the screen, I cried. And then we walked off the stage, and everyone and I looked at each other with our masks, and I said, I don't want to do this again next year. And he too was a little teary-eyed as well. And then when I finally got to see the class, and they were all in their whites, I cried again, actually, when I was talking to them, because it was the only time I really got to see them. I want to be able to cry on the football field this time with everybody, with the hats being tossed in the air and all that good stuff. So graduation. Normally, graduation, we would have the stands pretty full. We would be able to have everybody coming on in and checking it all out and seeing everything, but we are, stuck in this wonderful world of COVID, and it's been a nightmare, but we here have been getting through it. The cadets have been strong. They're coming up with these crazy, cool, inventive ways to make things work. And First Class McGill is on. She is part of the class council, the secretary, and she'll be able to go over a few things of what they're working on to try to make grad week for them as special as they can make it, because there are some things that we can't do off site. But in a normal world, because of the class size, you would have received 2 tickets in the inside, should it be inside due to weather, and outside would have been 15. Everything will be posted on the external website for graduation once we have more up to date of what's going to happen and what it's going to look like and what we can do. As the Admiral said, he's hoping to be able to have 2 guests come, and all those details we will send out via email to your cadets. Please make sure, talk to them. Hey, have you heard anything on graduation? And, have them forward you the emails and everything. But we will also, like I said, post on the cga.edu website. In there is a section on graduation. And actually you can see the virtual graduation should be posted on there. And that's where everything will be posted, what the week's going to look like as it gets closer. Normally,
Can I jump in for a second?
Yeah.
If there's a vaccine, let's just, positive thinking in March, let's just say, and Coast Guard Academy is chosen to get it, um, is administration flexible enough then to kind of revert back to a normal graduation?
What do you think on that one?
Yeah.
They're asking, so I'll let Captain answer that one because I'm not sure.
Look, the answer is always going to be it depends. If we're agile enough, hopefully, like I said, we're planning on for a full graduation. So I think if we're agile enough to turn everything on and make it happen, we can. But we don't know the situation with the folks that we have to connect with, like vendors, et cetera, et cetera. So that would be the goal to do that. But again, I can't speak for the future. We got a lot of time. We can try to plant seeds and try to make that happen. Like I mentioned before, flexible solutions is ultimately our goal in everything we do here. So, but again, the answer is to be determined.
Okay, that's fair. We'd also like the ball. We'd like everything. So if you need us to be flexible, we can be. And we can help in whatever way you need us to help to make a normal graduation week. I just want to put that out there for us.
Yeah, we want it to be as normal as we can. It's an amazing time for us to all get together. That's one of the things that I look forward to each year besides Parents Weekend, Day One, and graduation. Those are my three favorite things that happen here at the Coast Guard Academy. And I've been doing it for 12 years. So yes, that's the goal, is to try to be as normal as possible. But we have a new normal we're getting used to. So we're not totally there. But First Class McGill, you're on. Can you share just a few things about what your class is working on? Now, these are just in the stages of planning. Nothing has been approved. Nothing is set in stone whatsoever. But they are coming up with some really creative ideas that they want to be able to share. Because I know I'm a planner and I want to know ahead of time as well. But, this will at least give you a little bit of an idea of what's going on. So I'm going to let her chat for a minute. Go ahead. Hopefully she didn't get kicked off because the Wi-Fi has been driving me nuts.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Rose. And hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us. And so we sent out a class survey about 2 weeks ago asking the rest of the firsties what they wanted to see for graduation. And we told them to be realistic with their expectations. Previous years, we've had the formal at Mohegan or Foxwoods. And obviously, because of all of our stances with COVID right now, we just figured it'd be better to host that on campus. So the idea is to have that on the 15th of May, which is a Saturday, that evening on campus, on Lower Field, outdoors, under a tent of some sorts, maybe put down some sort of tarp or false ground so that people can have a dance floor. So that's for the ball.
Are parents invited to that? I'm sorry, do parents come to that in this new world? Or is this specific just for the kids, the cadets?
So ideally, we'd love for you guys to come, and we are going to push for everyone to be able to come, parents and dates to come to this. And that's what we're going to plan for. And depending on restrictions, we might have to say no parents or guests allowed. But right now we are pushing for there being guests.
Thank you. We appreciate it, Bronwyn. I just want to say we appreciate that you are planning for the hope and not just, caving early. So just know that the parents truly appreciate the effort.
Yeah, and I talked to the rest of the cadets, and the consensus of the class was they'd rather see us sacrifice our firstie formal that we would usually have during the spring or fall semester, and instead try to push for something better for graduation. So we're going to hopefully, fingers crossed, get what we want out of this. And for the rest of the week, we have events like we're planning on doing a golf tournament, a wine tasting, maybe a drunken palate kind of deal where you paint and sip wine with your parents and dates or whatnot. And then also doing a carnival field day kind of thing and a barbecue movie night just throughout the week. We haven't we don't have set dates for all of that yet, but ideally this is what grad week will look like.
So most of us have those that have houses are generally coming in Saturday. and we stay until the following Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. I'm just going to let you know that. So as you're planning this stuff, we can be included in whatever you can.
Yes, ma'am. So right now, the dates for all the events would be Saturday evening would be the formal ball on campus. Sunday, we were thinking Sunday morning, everyone has the night off or the morning off because it's going to be a long night the night before. And then we'd have either the golf tournament or the wine tasting that afternoon, followed by sunset drill that evening, our last drill together as firsties. Monday would be, Monday would be the golf tournament paint palette in the morning. And then Tuesday would be a carnival day, and we'd end it with firstie superlatives and a movie night on the football field, since most of the cadets are required to stay on campus that night because of parking and just making sure we're not missing graduation.
So of course, all these are not set in stone, neither are the dates. So things could shift. Things could shift and go to Monday. Football field might not work because it would be all set up for graduation. So there are some things we definitely have to work through to definitely be sure, because there's also other events that happen during the week as well that they'll have to see if we're going to be able to do the academic awards, the military awards, the sports awards, and those things that normally happen on Tuesday before graduation in the morning around lunchtime. So hopefully as we get a little bit closer, we'll be able to tighten everything up. But as we have been learning, we have to set different COAs, as we call them here, and we present multiple ones from the really what we want to have and what it looks like to an a la carte where we pull from different things to see what it will look like in the end, like we kind of did getting ready for this semester and how it's going to look for some virtual things and whatnot. So as it definitely gets closer, as we know what's going on in the areas, it will get tightened up a little bit more, and we just have to be flexible, if we have to change it. That happened on Saturday.
And so I just want to offer the Parent Association as a resource, and we can pay for things if we need to, find space if we need to, do whatever we need to help you guys out. So Bronwyn, just keep that in mind, that you have us backing you guys for whatever you need.
I really appreciate it, and the firsties are going to appreciate it too. We were thinking, since we don't have, I don't know, like as big of a graduation plan this year, to maybe do daily gifts relating to what the day is. So that's also a thought, is you're going to go wine tasting here, have a set of wine glasses for the wine tasting with a class crest on it or something of that sort. So each day you wake up and you go out with your class and family and have a gift.
That's lovely.
So as I said, the cadets have been amazing, coming up with these really cool ideas to try to fit it. And now we just have to make it fit into our 103 acre bubble of COVID and, to make it all work. But yeah, as the Admiral said, we learned a lot of things from doing the virtual. There's a lot of things he's talked about. He wants to have it come over to this graduation. But we've got some time, which is great. But it will be here before we know it, because actually Thanksgiving's just around the corner, and it just seemed like yesterday we're never going to make it to Thanksgiving. So and I see a question that just flashed up. I don't know how to use Catherine's computer, so but one of them was, are the parents going to be tested? I don't know what's going on with that. Let's hold tight with that, and we'll see what guidance will come out as we get closer of what we're going to do. And then heaven forbid that we can't have guests and it's only just the cadets. Everything's always live streamed anyway, so you'll be able to see it. You'll be able to partake in being able to view everything, and you betcha I will be on it Facebook Live from the very beginning just to get it kicked off, because there's no way I'm letting that go away, because it's fun for me.
So if that circumstance does happen, I would say to the parents that we all go somewhere where we can watch it together, so that it's not completely individualized, we're all sitting in our own houses or whatever. So even if it's a few different locations, but that we could celebrate together. And then when they finish graduation, I think they have to clean out the rooms, right?
So they're supposed to do it for that day.
Does that ever happen?
Yes, believe it or not, there are one or two, and you know your kids that will be lingering about, but a lot of them are like, they come get their stuff, they get their diplomas, they get their commissioning certificates, they get their records, they get their medical record. Everything's in this big, huge envelope, which I don't want to have to send out again. It's been a nightmare through cadet admin. God bless them. They did a great job in everything that we had to do. I don't want to have to send any whites. I don't want to go into anybody's room and pack up any whites anymore. I did that with the company officers and chiefs. We don't want to have a repeat. We want to have our normal Coast Guard Academy graduation. They come right after they toss the hats, change the shoulder boards, change the hat and everything else. And then they usually come up, some of them do a quick Zulu drill, get out of their whites and throw on some gym gear, and they come down and grab their stuff, and they're usually up here within an hour or 2 hours afterward. And then there's some that come straight off the field, sunburnt in their uniforms, grab their stuff, and they leave. Because they're supposed to have everything packed up, because the household goods come sooner, well before all that, in the beginning of May. So especially those that are going to a quite distance, and that stuff gets packed up, so they don't have the necessities, and then the stuff that they're not necessarily, or if they're doing a ditty move and some of that stuff, so they have to have majority of it packed up and ready to go. But you'll have one or two that'll straggle along, but usually by 1600, 4 o'clock of graduation, everybody's out of here.
So, and I don't know if this is you or Bronwyn, but the option in a normal graduation is to have somebody, a commissioned officer, present to them their commission and also their first salute.
Yeah, so the first salute usually is something that the cadets choose on their own. And some of them have it a special enlisted member that they like, a special family member that they have, and they'll stage it somewhere to do that. That's all on them. As for the presenting for the commissioning, a memo will go out to the Corps on directions on that, and it's usually right around beginning. We usually have them submit their applications for it, for those that don't meet that need a waiver for it before spring break. So it'll be end of February. Information will go out to them about that, and then from there, and it'll be up to them if they choose to have, because some of them may not necessarily want somebody else on the stage for them. There are some that just want to be them. Then there's some that want everybody, but usually you're only permitted two. In a normal graduation, you're permitted two, and that is a commissioned officer. That is correct.
So if parents are allowed, you get two people to go watch the graduation. Would that person take one of those spots?
Oh my gosh, Megan, that's great.
Someone, yeah, yes, that would normally, so that would also, so if let's say it rains and we're inside, that person would take one of those inside tickets. Yes.
Okay, thank you. We'll talk about this. They're not having spring break this year in the traditional sense. They're not allowed to go anywhere, but it's like a spring academic break. So that's the answer to that question. Bronwyn, just so you know, there's the thought that we don't want firsties to sacrifice anything for us. But we'd like to participate as much as we can. Any other questions for Christy or Captain Ray or Bronwyn? Or do you guys have anything else you want to?
There was an earlier question about who the commencement speaker would be.
Oh, good
So
one.
we are on tap we're preparing for our presidential one. We are on tap, but that doesn't mean that could change. So a few years back when we weren't on tap for presidential one, and then it changed very quickly. I want to say in March or April, I think it was April. And then we had to quickly turn on a presidential one. So the planning officer told me we are on tap for a presidential one, but that could change. But as for right now, that's what I was told. So.
Holiday break restrictions for travel and cadet activities will be released, I think November 1st or something at the latest.
Yes, so they are working on all that as we speak. I've seen drafts of different things go flying through, and the cadets will be getting that via email soon. So yeah, hang tight. There will be guidance for them on what they can and can't do for sure, because we have to get it out soon because Thanksgiving's around the corner.
The next question is, do tickets change if POTUS comes?
If tickets change to put, the inside tickets won't, no. The inside tickets will still stay too. The outside tickets, they usually don't change them. So for outside, it's 15. It's just security changes. The whole posture changes here for security with everything that's here. It's actually pretty cool to see. Just to see all the Secret Service and how that works is pretty amazing. So that security will totally change.
And so if one family has 5 people that can come, can they give the extra 10 tickets they get, supposedly that we get the normal, to a different family?
Yeah, so that's what we've done in the past, yes. So, you know, let's say Bronwyn only has 4, but there's, you know, some of her friends need 2 and some of her friends need 2. Everything's on a ticket system that's online. She would fill in the information and she'd get those the e-confirmation on those tickets, and then she'd be able to send those to those people, to her friends that need them, the cadets that need them. So that, yes, just because you only get 15, most of the cadets will go back and forth between them.
Is that through StubHub?
No, it's university tickets or something like that. It's a service that they use. It is not a StubHub thing, no.
So is the date firm for graduation, the May 19th?
Yes. Captain Admiral said it is May 19th. It is May 19th.
Okay, and so there's this, if there's no requirement necessarily that we get tested, most of us, I'm sure, are willing to get tested if that makes life easier for the academy.
Okay, yeah, we will definitely. I think as things get closer, we'll pass everything through UCATE, and so that way you can definitely get, you know, it out to the class parents to be sure, because I know how cadets pass their information. I too have an 18-year-old, and I know how she passes information. And I've also been with your kids for 4 years, so I know exactly how they pass information sometimes. And I know how much I fill their email inbox with stuff. So I know exactly how sometimes things can get lost. So things will definitely get passed through to you, Kate, so that way you can fan it out as we need to, for sure.
And so I'm going to request that any of the updates I get specific for graduation, I'm only posting on the Class Parents of 2021 page.
Yes.
Because I don't want a bunch of discussions about, oh, that's too bad. Last year, 2 years ago, we did it this way, or it's just not helpful. So that's going to be the primary source of information from me to you. And then I will also have emails sent for those that aren't on Facebook that much. I'll send an email to all the 2021 parents in the database, at least monthly, with like a summary of decisions that have been made. But so I'm going to ask that if you have questions or something to say about graduation, please do it on the Class of 2021 page, not on the main Parents Association page.
Some of those parents, they're seasoned. It's been many years since they've been on there, and although they mean well, sometimes I know it's disappointing sometimes to know what it used to be like. So we're going to set a new tradition. So for sure. So I can't see the questions because I don't know how to use Captain's computer. Did we get them all? Is there any more?
What is household goods?
Oh, household goods. So that's when you move. So that's all their stuff, and they'll get training on all that as it gets closer. They after billet night and they find out where they're going, it becomes more real. Although they did get the tentative billet list, didn't you, Bronwyn, from everybody? I saw that hit the email, and I was just as excited because now it's a nice conversation piece to be thinking about. They actually got early. We don't get it this early. It's usually just before Thanksgiving, and it drops in an email on Friday or just before Thanksgiving as they're getting ready to go on leave, and it's like then they hit the skids, and we don't have a chance to talk to anybody about how excited they are. So, but household goods, yeah, they'll get orders and all that good stuff, and it's stuff that they ship. and they'll ship to where they're going to be moving to. So they'll get all the training once much later.
Is there a chance that if we don't get 15 tickets, maybe the count could be lower than 15, but more than 2? Or is it like it's either 2 or 15?
The 2 is because of the size of the class and the size of the auditorium. So it's most likely it won't change. If anything, it might go up 1. I doubt it though, because this class is 5 cadets or 6 cadets larger than the last year's class. So they were only given 2 at that.
But if it's outside?
Oh, if it's outside, then it's 15.
Well, maybe.
Maybe, right.
Right.
So, I see. Oh, the other, I don't know. I forgot about COVID. We'd have to figure those things out. Could it be upped? They have to figure out spacing and all that good stuff. So, project officer will have to be working all that. So, you know, to figure out spaces and people and corners and all that good stuff. So I think they'll work to their best ability to, but for right now, the Admiral is shooting for 2. So.
Okay, if POTUS comes, how does security handle parents coming on campus? How early can parents come on campus on graduation day?
So what they will do is announcements will go out about what time on the invitation you are to report, and there most likely won't be parking on base, so you'll be on shuttles, and the shuttles will have your tickets will have parking passes and stuff like that. Parking will be very limited. So you're apt to have to park at a satellite station and move in that way. It is a little bit of a logistical nightmare trying to get everybody in. So once we get in and waiting for buses and that kind of stuff. So there will be, you'll go through security, Secret Service, you know, all that through be wanded in and check. You go through secured areas, and once you hit a certain area, then you can't leave. But they have really nice, the real fancy portalettes on the field in the corners. So there's bathroom space and all that good stuff. All that information will be provided as it gets closer, and guidance will be sent out to the cadets, and it's also written on the tickets as well.
Is it possible a prior Coast Guard enlisted can present at graduation?
So that's where the cadet will ask for a waiver.
Okay.
Will ask for a waiver. They'll write a memo about it, why, and all that good stuff, and all that guidance will be given to them to forward, and then that will then go to make a decision on whether or not they can do it or not.
Okay. Our cadets, are they participating in the presidential inauguration parade?
I don't know if we've gotten that far yet. Have we, Captain? We haven't even talked about that just yet.
Okay.
Oh, wait, I got Captain here.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, we haven't had many discussion. I know it's came up, but we have not considered coordinating at this point in time, but that could change. Again, going back to being flexible, but right at this moment, given the circumstances, I do not think it will be able to do that. I'll be right at, I don't know, looking at the time off the top of my head, we're just getting out of the ROM period, or just, so I'm not sure if that's in the realm of possible.
Okay. How is handicap seating handled during graduation?
So there is, so the cadets will put in for that as well, and it's usually in a lower area on the football field, on the turf area, and it's chairs over in that way. And if there's someone with a wheelchair, they'll be able to sit with a wheelchair, and then one person of the family or a guy or whoever is there with them can get them there. And if there's room there, they can sit with them. If not, they'll have to go off to the side, but and sit into the bleachers. But there is an option for them to choose for handicap seating, of course.
Okay. And then when will you know if it's inside or outside?
So they make the determination, and it's spelled out on a certain time and during the day. And I am not sure off the top of my head exactly, but I know it's all weather related, and we've had it out there before. We had it out there when we had no power many years ago. You would have never known we actually didn't have power, but we didn't have power one year, and we still had it, and it drizzled a little bit. But if it's pouring rain and thunder and lightning, it's going to be inside. And we've had to do that before, where we've had to call at the last minute and moving everything inside. And they called it that one year at like 7 o'clock in the morning. So it's, and a mass blast goes out to everybody so they know. And then there's satellite areas for those people who have tickets to get on to be able to watch it in different locations for them to go into. Normally they would have it on the basketball courts.
In Roland, right?
In Roland, yeah. So there's different spaces for them. So that's all within the plan. One of the COAs, if something happens to where we have to do something inside.
Is seating assigned or first come, first serve?
For inside, it would, but on the football field, it's first come, first serve.
And for inside, it's
the same thing. But there'll be spots where it will be reserved. So there are some reserved spots, yes. And there is also on the football field, there are some reserved spots as well. But up in the bleacher areas, those will be first come, first serve.
Are the reserve spots for the reserve spots are for staff and faculty, right? Not
Faculty,
parents.
staff, no. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, exactly.
If cadets moving out after graduation ceremony, will some of the parents, not all the cadets have cars there. So will the parents then be able to bring their car, either rental or whatever, onto campus to pick up the stuff?
After grad, yeah, because so some of them will do that. They will have everything ready to go, packed in their room. Mom, dad pull up. Some of them, I've seen some with little U-Hauls on the backside, and they just shove the stuff in the car while the cadet has gone down to go get their or ensign at that point to go get their stuff, and then they go back up and grab everything. So yes, and there are people that do that.
Do you think the state of Do you think the state of Connecticut will prevent parents from coming if the state is still on the banned list? Do you think there would be a procedure to get around this? If so,
I don't know. We'd have that has to do with like if they were on a red state. So
well, right now Connecticut lets you get tested 72 hours prior, right?
Right.
Because this is a federal property right here, we don't necessarily have to abide by state regulations. So we could make an exception in that point. So again, it'll be a game time decision. If sometimes we try our best to align ourselves with whatever state we are, regardless of what union we're at, but in certain circumstances, we could make exceptions.
Is the Coast Guard cutter Eagle scheduled to be in New London during graduation? If so, how do we reserve a tour or perhaps arrange a parent event?
I don't know about Eagle.
We can definitely socialize it. I know the CO on the cutter Eagle, or CO of the Coast Guard cutter Eagle personally, so we can see if it's in the realm of possible. He's been stationed here for quite some time, a few times in his career, so we'll see if that's in the realm of possible if people are interested.
And it's
we're interested.
Yeah, they're most likely here. They usually are. So no,
Right, because they pick up the third class there and they go.
Right, because they pick up it depends on with the third class. Sometimes they are here and sometimes they aren't. So it depends on the third class when they head out. And if they're not here, then they're not here. We'd have to find out their schedule, which should be routing around soon. And then be able to see. So we can definitely find out from Eagle.
Yeah, the public schedule wasn't posted on the website. I checked that before asking the question.
Yeah, it's not ready to go. That's why. They still have to exercise it through here, through LDC, through District 1. So it's not ready to go. I haven't even seen it yet. Usually we've seen bits and pieces of a skeleton. So, but I know they're talking about it for sure.
Experienced parents have said to get they're early to save seats if it's outside. Oh, well, even inside, I guess. If there's not enough seating at the field for everyone in the allotted ticket amount, seems like a long day to add arriving early. Kristen, unmute and explain that. I don't think I read it right.
Sorry about that. Other parents have said that you need to arrive early in order to get seats for the graduation ceremony at the football field. And I'm just wondering why we would need to get there early if should be enough seats for the allotted amount of tickets. Is that correct?
So yeah, that's why there's 15, because that's enough. It's for the space of an amount of people because of the size of the class. Some of them choose to come early because there's certain spots that they want.
Right under the announcement booth where
Yep.
the sun doesn't shine,
Right.
Okay,
my guess.
that's funny.
Um,
Okay.
So it doesn't matter how cool it is. You know, it is hotter than Hades on that football field with all those people on there, and you cook in the sun. So bring lots of sunscreen, lots of sunscreen.
Well, that's why it just didn't make sense for people to arrive early just to reserve seats. Why can't we all just get there right on time? And, you know, I just, to me, it didn't make sense to arrive, you know, an hour too early when it's already going to be a long, uncomfortable day.
Right. So they're still going to, you're probably going to have to come early.
For security.
Yeah, for security and everything.
That I get.
Yeah.
I just meant even earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just seemed like a lot of hours in the sun on campus, and you know, to have to do it early
too. If you have a large party and you want to sit together, yeah, they're going to come early. Those people are going to come so they can get, and the base won't let you on too early, and all that information will be sent out of what time the base will open for guests to start arriving and that kind of stuff, and when the shuttles start to come on and whatnot. So yeah, it does get hot in the sun. It does get hot.
Okay. Thank you.
Can you bring an umbrella if it's for sun?
So I'll have to double check with that. If it's presidential, it depends on the security of what they say. So Secret Service will give us the guidance as it gets closer on yes or no. So be prepared to possibly say no. But I would say, and if they say no, then you're end up going to have to ditch it somewhere. But more guidance will come on as it gets closer, especially with that. They will front load us with everything so that we can let you all know.
So are there like tents set up, you know, on the road behind the football stadium? Will there be like those pop-up tents or whatever? I'm just thinking that if we have to get there early to go through security and everything, and it is one of those days. I mean, Brenna gets sunburned every year at graduation.
Yeah,
working graduation.
So what they do is the security will go through Otto Graham, and right there between the buildings and the football field is where all the trucks are for the news crews and everything else, because POTUS brings in a lot of news crews. Graduation usually does anyway, so there will be some up there. So they close all that, and so that people can walk through and stuff like that. But there will be a secure area where once you go through to Ballard, you can only go so far, and then once you hit security, you're considered clean, and then you go through and you stay down in the area. You know, there'll be people there around, and there'll be all the security down there and everything else. So
yeah, I was just thinking a place to, instead of sitting in the stands baking, at least if you could just walk up behind the stands and be under a tent or something, or like the Alumni Association parking lot, like to have a big tent there.
So if it's POTUS, they will have that secured over there.
Okay.
Because they will need that area. So.
All right. Well, I'm trying.
Yeah. No, I know. Be prepared to be in the sun.
Okay.
Because
I know that the Parents Association, we pay for the water for graduation, so there'll be plenty of water.
Yeah, and there'll be some pop-up tents down there, but where everyone can stand. It depends on what happens with the restrictions of COVID too.
Fair enough. Mm-hmm. Do cadets get copies of graduation, the videos, the live stream?
I don't know. I think it's always been there to where you can pull it off there yourself, because it's a live stream. So.
Can you download from live stream afterwards? I don't know. Has anybody able to do it? I don't think so.
That's something we could look into and see if there's a way to get copies. I don't know. They might have done it for the virtual one. They might have been able to get copies, and I'm not sure how that worked, because I was on graduation sections, but that wasn't one of my section, because we're in different little group. There's different groups for graduation for that one. So that's something we can find out. Bronwyn, are you taking notes? I hope.
It looks like she is.
Because I'm not.
Okay. Does anybody else have any questions? The soccer game starts in 5 minutes. I just got a pop-up alert. I don't have a kid that plays soccer, but I am totally going to root them on. Not to rush this, though. This is very important. So if
I had a question early on that got missed.
I'm sorry.
For the 30-day leave, are there normally travel restrictions not COVID related, let's pretend.
Yeah. So
Normal
what-
restrictions or?
No, there isn't. So, I mean, if they do international travel, they know what they need to do for international travel and fill out the paperwork. It's the same as if they were a cadet. It's the same thing. But with COVID, yes, there's going to be some restrictions for that, likely. But it will be the Coast Guard, what we go by with the Coast Guard.
And when they get to send their stuff, it can only go to one address, right? When the people come to pack them or they pack themselves.
That I don't want to answer because I'm not sure.
Okay.
Because, that is something that cadet admin handles through the shipping office over at the Navy. So we'll leave it to all the cadets. That's their job. They're the ones moving, mom and dad, they're moving, and let them, the cadet admin is a great resource and they help and guide them for everything that they need.
Okay, the question is, are we going to have another Zoom call? So we have a parent Zoom call in January that's going to be scheduled. We can do them monthly. I'm sure Christy would love to participate. Yes.
Yeah.
Bronwyn, you're welcome too.
Yeah.
Captain Ray.
Yeah. We could most definitely get with you, Kate, and to give a class update of what's going on. Sure.
Okay. So we'll just schedule that. The first one's in January, and so they can join for the first little bit to see if there's any changes or updates or whatever.
Yeah.
And then when it gets closer, if in fact we're going to do something as 2021 parents, we'll have to have a project group that, of people that want to work on things. If there's something specific we can do, but that'll be determined a little bit later.
Yeah. Definitely.
If only 2 allowed for outside graduation, will the same restriction apply for things like the sunset review?
That we got to work all that out. We got to figure out what's going on, what we can do on base and all that good stuff, and what's going on in the state of Connecticut as well. So that's the hard part. I wish I could give you this magic. As I said to a cadet yesterday, I wish I had a magic bubble and a magic wand and I could look into it, but my magic 8-ball is not working because there's bubbles in it. So it's not giving me the answers that I need. Because we just don't know. We just don't know. And this COVID thing is pretty scary. So getting sick with it is pretty scary. So, I mean, everything that we're doing here right now is to keep everybody as safe as we can. So we're going to continue to do that right up to graduation.
So we have houses, we go up there, there's still COVID, we don't have a vaccine. Of course, that's not going to happen because we're going to be positive. However, are the cadets going to be allowed to visit us at the rental houses and things?
So that'll have to be as we come through with Liberty and all that good stuff, all that gets passed through. But normally, yeah, they'd be able to go visit and there'd be some Liberty times where they'd be allowed to go out and depart because it's grad week stuff. So
otherwise the parents are just going to have a long party up until graduation.
No, usually they come back and forth. There's some things that they have to come here on base for it. So they have to report back here at a certain time and stuff like that. But usually when it's on the weekend, it's their time to go and hang out and to celebrate with their families.
Is the ball black tie?
Yes, it usually is. I don't know, Bronwyn, were you guys still planning that to be?
So yes, most of the cadets voted that it was black tie since we're not doing our first formal. We haven't gotten approved per se through like our chain of command yet, but ideally for the parents at least, we said we weren't going to make you guys rent tuxes or anything like that. So just formal wear for the parents, and cadets might be black tie, might be our dinner dress whites.
Is that the whites that you graduate in?
No, it's like a short white. It's a short white jacket with
not.
a black shirt. No, it's okay.
Beautiful uniform. So the whites and the dinner dress whites are my favorite uniform to see everybody in. It's not theirs because it's all white, but the uniform will be decided definitely later on. But normally it is a dinner dress whites because it is a command sponsored event, and normal military command sponsored events are uniforms.
Okay. About the swords that they got, because everything got messed up with the spring, I know that usually they have the ability to get the swords engraved, but that kind of passed us by just because of COVID and not being around and everything. Are they going to be able to revisit that?
Where, do you know that one? Do you know what? Yeah, we'll write that down. Bronwyn, can you write that down and we'll check into it and see
Thank you.
what's going on with it, just to see. So make sure your class doesn't miss out on that.
Thank you. I don't want them to. And then for who gives them the challenge coin? Is it the
alumni? The alumni association link the chain. So their link the chain is the one that does the challenge coin, welcoming them into the long blue line officially as officers.
Okay, and then would they give a silver dollar to their first salute person?
That's the cadets. That's a normal tradition. Yeah, that and to the anchor cadet is usually the anchor cadet's usually the richest cadet in the class. Because if each person gives them a silver dollar, there are some cadets that will purchase more than a few silver dollars because they have a very special person that they want to continue to do and give to more than one person. So
An anchor cadet is a good thing? Because like in Swab Summer, you were the anchor of the platoon and it was a bad thing.
Anchor cadet is the one that graduates, the very last member of the class that made it to graduation and was able to graduate.
Okay.
So everybody graduating is a great thing.
Absolutely.
That's the very last person that definitely made it.
Okay. Does anybody have any other, will cadets get liberty during spring break? They get liberty, but not leave, correct?
So we're still working on all those final details. Proposals have been sent to the front office, to the senior leadership team, and that hopefully will be sent out soon regarding of what's going to happen on all that. I saw an email flash in earlier about stuff for the semester, but I'm not sure exactly. So those details will come soon. And as soon as they hit the streets, we'll make sure that you get it, Kate, so that you can fan it out to the parents as well.
Okay, and the Delaware Valley chapter actually sells first salute coins that I know parents buy because Brenna, I think last year she got the silver dollar and the first salute coin. And I guess it was just what the graduate had. And I was just like, why are they different? You know, and she didn't know. So now I know. And then, so we want to know that if you have your crystal ball out, you could tell us if it's going to be raining or sunny on the day of graduation.
So in the, will be my 12th graduation. There have been 2 rainy ones. So, and then,
so odds are in our favor.
Right, and one virtual. So so it's usually, knock on wood, this nice desk I just knocked on, it's usually beautiful weather. We'll usually have rain around sunset drill time, and that we'll usually have it on the weekend, so it's not usually a beautiful weekend. Then we usually have a beautiful graduation day, and the river looks gorgeous, the flags are out, and feels like it's 110 degrees on the football field, but it's usually about 65, 70. But the sun beats down. The sun's high because it's May, so you get nice and toasty and burnt.
So there's a question: can Connecticut College be used for any events, or do they have graduation around the same time?
They don't have graduation around the same time. Theirs is usually before. Theirs is usually around Mother's Day weekend, and ours is afterward. And they do use parts of Connecticut College for parking to get over there. The year that we had no power, that was exercised to be able to use, but the class shot it down because they wanted to graduate at their academy, on their football field. And so we lost power 5 days before graduation was to happen. On the base, a transformer went, this is many years ago, this was Admiral Allen's time frame. And everything was trying to figure it out, and it was supposed to be a pouring rainy day. It was supposed to be absolutely miserable. We had generators out and everything. We missed but it started at 11 o'clock. The rain stopped just long enough. The cadets that were here were wiping down seats and everything to get everybody out there. It misted through most of it, and then the clouds opened up when graduation was over. So the heavens were waiting for us to finish. We couldn't hear the chapel because the chapel runs on electricity. So we didn't hear the banging of the clock, but we were able to do it outside. So they do everything in their power to be able to have it outside.
So that was class of 2010, Lieutenant Commander Brusso says. which
Yeah.
is when he graduated, and he's on the
Oh,
call.
that was yours.
Yep, that was mine. Powers out and Chase Hall the whole week.
Oh, the whole week. Oh my gosh. I'll never forget when it went out and it made a noise and Captain Fitzgerald was sitting at his desk and he goes, oh God, that can't be good. I will never forget that week ever. And it poured. Oh my gosh, it poured Monday and Tuesday, thunder and lightning and everything. It was crazy.
An adventure.
Yes.
Okay, so what's the difference between inside and outside tickets? It's just the amount in a
Yeah.
normal world.
Just the amount.
So
Because we can't fit all those people. It's like just over 1,000 people that can fit in the auditorium. So we really can't fit the whole core in there. It's real tight. So that's just the amount.
ever any consideration to just putting up a big, huge, massive tent over the football field to like mitigate the rain issue? Because
I wonder
just
what,
because I
no,
thought about it.
I don't know if they've ever thought about that because usually we have beautiful.
I mean, that would be nice actually to keep the sun off too.
Yeah,
kinda,
that would
sort of.
have to be, yeah, as the captain said, that would have to be a great big, gigantic, enormous. They probably don't make that size tent. There'd be multiple tents.
Oh, okay. I was
You
just
wouldn't be able to
curious.
see anything from the stands, especially if you were up too high on the football. As you're looking down, you wouldn't be able to see.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Anybody have any? Oh, yeah, Chris, that's true. Anybody have any other questions?
So then I think Captain wanted to say a couple of things too.
Oh, okay.
Since I took over most of this.
So before Captain comes on, Bronwyn, I want to tell you how much we appreciate the information and you taking notes and you including us and representing the firsties and, you know, trying to get the most normal experience possible. That's awesome. Christy, as always, I think I talked to Christy probably more than anybody else in my life at this point. So
we spent a lot of time together this summer too.
We did. Thank you for all the information, and I look forward to getting information. Any updates that come, again, it's going to be on the 2021 parent page.
Yeah. So I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna actually. So as Admiral said, he is getting ready to go to do the trick or treat. So me too. I got to head down to Leamy and greet the little kids from the faculty and staff here, because normally we get to see them, but they're not going to be able to get out of the cars. So this will be my time to see them because I usually get to see them then. And then I play Mrs. Claus. My husband and I do Santa and Mrs. Claus at Christmas time for them. And so we won't be able to see them. So at least I get to see them now. So I'm gonna say good night.
One more question. Total time in bleachers during an outside graduation.
So total time.
Yeah.
Graduation starts at 11 and it goes about 1:30, 2 o'clock, depending on the guest speaker and how long they speak for. So you're going to have a sort of
an hour before then.
Yeah, and an hour before then, if not sooner. So you're there. You're there. Hall.
Okay.
But you know, it does go by fast, believe it or not, because there will be some little entertainment going on. Professor Zuchek normally will keep you entertained with some jokes and some information about the academy and the class and that kind of stuff to keep you a little bit entertained right around 10 o'clock or so, 10:30. So
thank you.
So, okay.
Yes.
If there's any questions, just pass them through Kate. She knows how to get a hold of me. And you guys have a great evening. And I'm going to be going watching some more of those videos. I went to class with Mrs. Kelly today, saw the superintendent and then the lunch boardroom. So I watched that one as well today. So that was pretty cool. The cadets did a great job. And so didn't you, Kate, and all the executive council members that I know, and Tony, it was a lot of work. I just got to be a part of it. I didn't have to do all the work. And you guys did a great job. So trying to make this last Parents Weekend for you guys as special as possible. And I scrolled through to see their faces. So it was nice to see all you guys on.
Good. Thanks, Christy.
Graduation. See you at graduation.
Yes, you will.
Okay, sir, your turn.
Hi.
Hello.
So hello. Just for expectation management. Sorry.
Here's the disclaimer. Okay.
If this is going to be a presidential graduation,
Captain Ray, you're muted. There you go.
Just to for expectation management, I want to mention if this is going to be a presidential graduation, we're under the mercy of the Secret Service, so they could change everything that quick, depending on what they have going on. So I just wanted to mention that when I was here as a cadet, they had the graduation. It wasn't my graduation, but the graduation was held on Lower Field. So just be ready to pivot at any moment if that's what this is going to be.
If we get to be there, we'll go anywhere in the 103 acres.
And the second thing, just to go back to the question about leave, just make sure at this point in time, the cadet will be an officer. Just make sure that they stay connected with their receiving unit. So they can travel just in accordance with Coast Guard policy, but just stay connected with that receiving unit, especially if it's an operational, specifically a cutter, so that they can, if the cutter changes a port call or something like that, they'll be able to meet that cutter wherever. So
well, will they have met them yet? Like talk to their new commanding officer and all that?
Pre-COVID, it will be definite yes. What they have it is in conjunction with the commanding officers conference they have at the academy. Then they'll meet usually either a representative or the commanding officer of that receiving unit. That's what I've seen in the past, and people can correct me if I'm wrong. However, I encourage them just to stay connected with that unit. So if things change, they'll be able to meet the cutter. There's no issues at all. So that'll be my advice.
Thank you.
I just want to make that plug and sign off. Thank you for everybody taking time to talk to us. And if you have any questions, please direct them towards Kate.
Thanks.
Or let's be out there right now.
I'm going to give out your cell phone number. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, as soon as I get it, I don't hold on to information. Once it's, approved to go out, I post it. We're not going to know a lot. We're going to plan for the best and manage if we don't get exactly what we want. But as long as the kids get to graduate in person on the field together, and hopefully at least have a few of us there to watch them, that's better than what happened last year. So I'm still hopeful for the 15 tickets.
Yeah, I hope everything works out.
Me too.
And any restrictions we place on us for the security and well-being of the cadets and future officers. That's it. And everybody else there too.
Fair enough. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much. I'm going to encourage everybody to watch the live stream of the soccer game and, do the Go Bears stuff. I guess that's it.
Go Bears.
Go Bears.
Ms. Farrington, I had a partial answer to someone's question about the Airbnbs during grad week.
Okay.
So when we booked a house for, what was it? Supposed to be our second class ring dance formal. And because of COVID, we had to cancel it. And that was only maybe 2 weeks before we were supposed to have the house. And we lost half of our deposit on it originally, but we went ahead and we called the Airbnb owner and told them the situation about how we weren't being let to come back or whatnot. So I would say just give them a call ahead of time and let them know that it's all tentative, whatever your plan is. And we're encouraging the parents to not put a deposit down if possible, or make sure you have like a good reimbursement or insurance plan for that.
The large majority of us put deposits down last year and signed the contracts. But and so, which is why there'll be a lot of us in New London, regardless of whether we're at the academy to watch graduation. But so those that haven't, make sure that there's flexibility in case we hear something different. That's a fair ask, Bronwyn. Thank you. And we look forward to, your graduation. We're so proud of you guys. You really pulled it off.
Almost there. Really excited. And hopefully it all goes to plan, but.
That's awesome. Well, so Christy has my cell phone number, so get it from her or Brenna. And if you guys need anything, or you want to float an idea and say we don't have the funds for it or whatever, let me know. If we don't have it, we can call the Alumni Association. We can work it out. I mean, in worst case, I'll come to the parents and we'll do something, right?
Yeah, there's good ideas floating through the chat, and people have been texting me, giving me good ideas. So I'll definitely give it to Commander Person so we can have a discussion about what we need for funding and try to give you guys an idea of how much grad week is going to cost, because I know it's nice to hear now if it's going to be $1,000 out of pocket than like May. So
True.
we'll try to keep you guys in the loop.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Hope everyone has a good night. Bye.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
The video will be posted probably by tomorrow. Bye, Captain Ray.